Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is lesson 522. The title of today's lesson is the difference between unheard of and unprecedented. Yeah, this is one that sometimes comes up in class because they do seem to have very close to the same meaning, even though we probably do use them in different ways. But there could be a little crossover. Anyway, somebody wants a screenshot, do it right now. Let's get right to it. All right, now we're talking about unheard of. Could mean not previously known, just that you didn't know about it before. Not famous or extremely rare. Yeah, so sometimes we use unheard of. Maybe it really never did happen before. Maybe it was never unheard of. Or maybe we think, well, maybe out there somewhere it did, but I never heard of it. Or I never heard anybody talk about it, that they knew somebody that this happened to. Or at least not in your circle or not in your area. So in that sense, we sometimes use unheard of. All right, the second meaning without precedent here, this is the one where you might have a little bit of crossover. All right, let's look at unprecedented. Something that is unprecedented, never happened before, especially used with important, official, or a significant event, where unheard of could be used with kind of everyday things. You can also use it to describe something is in a greater quantity or scale than ever before. Yeah, we use this with unprecedented because sometimes when student asks me, I usually say it means never having happened before or never to such an extent or level. So it could have happened before, but maybe this number is higher than it ever happened before. So it was to a much greater amount or to a much greater level. All right, let's continue. All right, and we have 6 examples to show like when we're more likely to use one than another. All right, he doesn't want any big name actors, so he doesn't want any famous actors. He prefers you find some unheard of actors, but who still have talent. All right, so this meaning not previously known. So in this sense, you just want them unheard of, just that, the average people don't know of them. So this means it in this sense. Obviously, there's some people in the world that know their names, but the average people, the general public doesn't know them. All right, good. Number 2, nowadays it is very common for unmarried couples to live together. But in my day, it was unheard of and is considered considered taboo. All right, so this is kind of like ones where you think it was like extremely rare. If you're 50, 60 years old, there might have been a few couples back then, but it was rare. It was like less than 1% or something that did this. But nowadays, this is quite common. But when you say that it was unheard of, it means like, you didn't really know anybody personally, or you didn't hear too many stories of this happening, or you knew it was kind of a taboo thing. All right, number 3. All right, now number 3 and 4 is where we might have crossover. In April of 2020, oil prices went negative. Those types of prices are unheard of. You could use it that way. Or you could also say it was unprecedented for oil prices to go negative. Yeah, that was the first time it truly ever happened. So it really was unprecedented. Yes, so it was the first time in history for this to happen, sure. All right, number 5 here. That was an unprecedented law case. Yeah, so we use it like that, especially like something that's related to history, because maybe this is the first time in history there was ever a law case about this issue. It was the first time such case ever, for such case to enter the court system. Okay, great. And the last one here. These are unprecedented debt levels. If the government does not get its spending under control, it could go bankrupt. Yeah, maybe they really are unprecedented. Maybe the number is much higher than ever before. Never before has another government tried to carry this much debt. So even though they've had debt before, lots of them had maybe even a lot of debt, but this level or these numbers are much higher than ever before. So here you're more likely to use unprecedented because it's a much more formal situation, much more important or significant situation. Okay, anyway, I hope you got it. Hope it was clear. Hope it was informative. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.